Big thank you to Identity for sponsoring this video.
I've never filmed in this area before, but as you can see, this is where I usually film my vlogs and stuff from, or like my day in the life. And then my bed is to the right of me, and I shouldn't have given her a squeaker toy. My bookshelf is to the left of me, and the window is on this side of the wall. I just feel like I love the natural light, but the background isn't the prettiest. So yeah, we're trying it out. Let me know what you guys think about it. BB. Can I give you a less squeaky toy? But today I wanted to address one of the most common questions I get asked from both you guys as well as my friends and sometimes my family. But it's just, how do I manage my time between my 9 to 5 and my side hustles? So YouTube, my e-commerce businesses, my design agency that I run with my friends. It sounds like a lot when I just list it out like that, and sometimes it does feel like a lot as well, but I promise once you kind of get into the habit of being able to balance things while also giving yourself time to wind down and just like leave work, it feels a lot more manageable. So I thought it would be helpful for me to share some of the tips and tricks that I've learned over the last couple of years of working all these different jobs, as well as some new ways that I found that helps keep myself sane when I'm incredibly busy between the 3 jobs. I think if I were to film this video 2 years ago, I would have said some pretty different things. Your body is capable of so fucking much, so push it every day. But if 2020 helped me realize anything, it's that it's okay to let yourself take a break and recharge, because in turn that's gonna make you more productive in the long run, but more on that later. So I put together 4 key kind of like tips or tricks or pieces of advice that I can give you if you are getting to that point in your life where you're feeling like, whoa, there's a lot of stuff going on and I need to just learn some new skills for time management. And then I have 1 bonus tip as well, so make sure you stay till the end to get that tip. But I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Tip number 1, and this is gonna sound a little bit cliche, but it really has made such a difference, is making the time to declutter both my physical workspace as well as my digital workspace. On the physical workspace side, there's a saying that says, your physical space is a reflection of your mental space. And I think just over the last couple of years, I come to realize how true that really is, because when I am stressed out, like when I'm stressed out about work, when I'm stressed out about, I don't know, my relationships, about COVID, my space really reflected that, in the sense that when I'm not in a good mood and I'm stressed, I shut everything out and I shut everything down. So my space gets really messy. I can't seem to keep it tidy no matter how many times I feel like I'm cleaning. It just won't stay clean. And then I find the times where I'm most in my zone and I'm really in that flow zone for work, I'm feeling like I'm able to balance it all out. I feel like I have control over those stressors. I just naturally tend to keep my space clean a little bit more efficiently. In the same vein as that thought, your digital workspace matters a lot too. So that boils down to, you know, what you keep on your start drive, so on your desktop, on your downloads folder, or in your downloads folder, how you organize your documents folders, how you organize the folders on your computer in general, even like the taskbar or the command bar at the bottom with all of your different apps. I typically try to do like a deep clean of my computer once I finish every major project, and then I clear my trash bin, because I'm like, get out of my life, like I'm done with you. Damn! As somebody who does a lot of different things, I'm also very guilty of having way too many tabs open at once. Like truly way too many software applications open, way too many tabs open. Honestly, sometimes I have like multiple browsers open because I do testing. So like I have Chrome open, I have Firefox open, I have Safari open, I have Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, sometimes Final Cut, Figma, Spotify, my emailing. It's just insane sometimes when you do like the 4-finger swipe up and you're like, ooh, Okay, that's disgusting. So I've really been trying to get in the habit of closing down the things that I'm not immediately using, even if it means like just, you know, saving the file and closing it down and just opening it up later. A tool which I have been really loving is Identity. When I read the mission statement, like the key values of Identity, I was automatically like, damn. You and I are soulmates. Identity was created to help declutter the internet. Let me repeat that for you slowly. Declutter the internet. When I came across this tool, I was blown away at how intuitive it is, but how on point it is from what I was trying to get rid of. So like this bad habit that I was trying to get rid of. Essentially, Identity was created for those heavy desktop computer users, so students, people who work in digital or creative fields. And it's also for those people who are obsessed with being organized, to help them facilitate more intentional use of their browser and pretty much just help them build more focus into the projects that they are working on. Research has shown that multitasking actually takes away from productivity and deep levels of focus. So having a tool that helps minimize how many browser tabs that you need to keep open has been seriously such a game changer for me. When you first sign up for Identity, you have a clear dashboard for you to start adding the bookmarks that you typically keep in your bookmarks bar, the ones that you keep in your notes, in your Notion. The first thing that I did was move everything that I had in my current bookmarks bar in my Chrome browser into Identity. So that's usually all of the pages that I use for work, as well as for creative purposes. When you're saving a web page into a tile, you can select categories and keywords to organize the tile, so it's easier for you to find it later. You can also include your email and your password for that specific site, because it has a really cool functionality that every time you click a tile to go to a website, it automatically copies your password, so you can just hit paste into the site and log in effortlessly. So as you guys can see here, I've categorized my tiles into a few different categories. Some are for work, some are personal. And a keyboard shortcut you can use, which helped me a lot, was if you hit /, it'll automatically jump to that search bar. So that's no extra mouse clicks for you, which by the way, I totally measure how efficiently an app or software works by 1, how well their keyboard functions work or keyboard shortcuts work, and 2, how little mouse clicks it takes me to do the thing that I want to do. They also have built in a notes function and a Google Calendar function in the sidebar of their dashboard, which so smart, so useful. What a great use of space. I use the notes typically to quickly type up anything that I need to remember, and then I use the calendar function to look at my like next to-dos for the day without having to go into my calendar application. Overall, I would say that Identity has really changed my workflow in my Chrome browser, and it definitely has helped with my issue of keeping all of those tabs open. I'm so guilty of it, and I know that some of you are as well. If you guys want to try it out, I will leave all of the links for you in the description box below. My second tip is to create a trustworthy system where you can keep track of every single task that you need to accomplish. I've talked about this book in my previous videos, but if you guys haven't read Getting Things Done by David Allen, I would highly recommend it. But he says, it's possible for a person to have an overwhelming number of things to do and still function productively with a clear head and a positive sense of relaxed control. When I saw that quote, I was like, okay, David Allen, tell me all of your secrets immediately. He believes in the theory that if it's on your mind is not clear. So it doesn't matter if, you know, you're like, okay, I'm really good at remembering my tasks. I've already kept them back here. I'm just gonna focus on this one task. As long as you don't put those tasks into another system, like out of your head, then they are constantly reminding you that they are still there. This system only works if you wholeheartedly try to design it and try to put everything you need to do in it, because in your head, in your mind, like you need to trust this system as like your go-to holy grail thing to refer back to, and you need to be able to trust that it holds all of those things and that you won't forget it if you just type it into the system. I personally use Notion for this, and yes, there is a video coming up on how I use Notion. But yeah, this GTD system, or just keeping the system, has really helped me over the last couple of months that I've known it. My third tip is to Google Calendar everything, and I truly do mean like everything. Like, put in your calendar when you're gonna have lunch, when you're gonna work out, when you're gonna sit down and read, when are you going to walk your dog, when are you going to spend time with your significant other. I love Google Calendar because it's a visual way of seeing what I need to do in a day. Although I will say I typically live in like the weekly view or daily views. When I when I zoom out into the monthly views, it gets a little bit stressful.
No! God, please, no!
But overall, I find that the system just really works for me, especially for time-sensitive projects and tasks. I like to block out times in my day to do specific things. So for wellness, my breaks, my 9-to-5 work, my creative work, it just helps me. Like, I'm just very much so a scheduling type of person, and it just helps me to see that all in a calendar, but also that it reminds me to do these things at a specific time of day, because sometimes it's easy for me to spend a little too much time in a certain thing where I know that I should be putting my focus somewhere else. My fourth tip may seem a little counterintuitive to some, but it's essentially to learn to prioritize and learn when you should stop working. This has definitely been a new thing that I've learned in life. On the prioritize side, I think all the points that I mentioned above are things that helped me prioritize what is important, especially the GTD system that I was speaking about. Having all of my tasks laid out in one system so I can see it and I can categorize them into things that I should prioritize, things that are in the pipeline, things that are due, you know, in the future. Having that sort of system has really helped to put my mind at ease when I'm working on certain things and when I need to focus on certain things. That leads me into my second point, which is that it's okay to stop. Like, once you finish the things that are either time sensitive or the things that you personally wanted to get done today and they were important to you, it's fine to stop, it's fine to take a break, it's fine to, you know, end your workday. Because the point of having those 3 priorities is that it is telling you that nothing else is time sensitive right now, which means if you're tired, nothing else matters as much as you needing to recharge. Because how are you going to go and accomplish the next 3 things tomorrow if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling stressed? Like, you need to be able to turn it off at the end of the day, but you need to give yourself that distinction between this is work, this is my recharge time, so that I can do more work the next day. Learning to stop has been just as important of a lesson for me to learn as learning to keep pushing, because that was something that I was practicing and learning the importance of when I was going through school, when I was going through the first year or 2 of my career, was learning to persevere, learning to be gritty, learning to push, learning about hard work. But the last year or 2, I think I've just really learned the importance of that it's okay to stop and that it's okay to take a break, which I think personally has made me a lot more of a productive and efficient person. So I have my bonus tip, which is tip number 5. Thank you for still being here and finishing up this video, but the tip is don't forget to grow yourself in the process and in other ways. So for me, the 3 things that I've been focusing on, 1 is reading. Reading is king. It's my #1 way of improving my vocabulary, creating a more open mindset, expanding my knowledge, working on my skills, and really just generally growing myself as a person. I've really made it a goal to focus on reading this year, and I've been doing pretty well at it. I have read, I think it's March, and I'm on my 6th book, I want to say. My goal is reading 2 or 3 books every month, and yeah, it has been amazing, and I feel like I've learned so much. I feel like the way I speak is a little bit more clear, a little bit more communicative, I hope. And I've just really enjoyed the experience of learning again and just like picking up new knowledge. The second thing is go to the gym, not just for your aesthetics, not just for your strength, but for your health and for your mental health, because that endorphin kick, that endorphin boost truly cannot be beat. I think a part of what made 2020 so hard is that I was sad and stressed, which made me lose the motivation to gym, which in turn made me more sad and stressed because I wasn't getting that outlet anymore. I read this quote lately that physical activity is the single most efficient strategy for completing the stress response cycle and recalibrating your central nervous system into a calm state. So I completely understand now why when I fall off of my fitness routine, how it affects how productive I can be, the level of work that I can produce, and just how I feel about work and life in general. I think a part of what has made me not only a better, more productive, more efficient worker, but also a more functional human has been learning to work smarter and not harder in this last year. But beyond that, I really learned to not feel guilty and not give myself shit for taking breaks and just allowing myself to actually stop working when the work is done. There was a time in my life where I believed that the more hours I put in and the harder I worked and pushed myself, the more that I would accomplish and the more successful I would be. Although I am still a firm believer in hard work, I'm starting to understand that I need to keep myself whole in other aspects and areas in my life to be able to continue to produce great content, to produce great work, and to grow myself in my career. So if you're gonna take anything away from this video, it's really just to learn to slow down and prioritize your life and work accordingly. Let me know if you already do or want to try any of the things that I mentioned in this video. Make sure you guys check out Identity. I have it in the description box. Truly, truly life-changing. Like honestly life-changing. Go and check it out. It will help your workflow, I guarantee it. I do have a Notion video coming up very, very soon. I know a few of you have requested it in past comments, and I am working on it, I promise, so that is coming soon. If you'd like more detail on anything I mentioned in this video, make sure to let me know in the comments bar below as well. I've also added 2 things in my description bar, which I mentioned in my last video, but I wanted to mention it here as well. One is I created a Discord channel to connect with all of you guys and just be able to chat with you guys live. So if you guys want to join that, the link is in the description box below. I've also created a Buy Me a Coffee page, and somebody has actually bought me a coffee. I can't believe it. I'm going to feature their comment here. Honestly, knowing that people want to buy me a coffee, that is already, it makes me so happy. So I know I have to feature your comments that you leave in my Buy Me a Coffee here and just kind of like thank you on camera, like truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you. From the bottom of this coffee addict's heart, I thank you. So I'm gonna leave that link in the down bar as well if you guys want to buy me a coffee. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment, hit the share button, hit that notification bell, and hit subscribe if you enjoyed it. But other than that, I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!